He was a prolific football player. Some say one of the best midfielders to ever play the game in TNT. He represented the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force and national team. But something happened that changed his life forever.
I said to myself that, I've been to rehab so many times. I have to make the decision. I have to stop this thing. I have to say, hey, I ain't doing this thing again.
After several trips to prison and rehab, he is finally ready to embrace his sobriety.
I am Grantley Maxwell, and this is my story.
Join Garth and Natasha this Sunday for a lesson in relapse and recovery. Listen live from 10 a.m. on I-95.5 FM or watch live on the I on Dependency Facebook page or YouTube channel. The Counter Trafficking Unit, Ministry of National Security, brings you I on Dependency. We don't just share stories, we change lives.
This Sunday, on episode 37 of Eye on Dependency, where every
lights, camera, action. It's movie time. Get your popcorn. True story. Lockdown, ghost town. Like the day the earth stood still. COVID-19, the unforeseen. Like the man who came to kill.
These are the days of our lives.
All you listen, me chorus.
These are the days of our lives.
Well, alright. Vaccine, quarantine. This is no time to die. Safe zone, tombstone. Venom come to hang them high.
These are the days of our lives.
I'm not listening, me chorus.
These are the days of our lives.
COVID change up everything. In she jaws, we feel this thing. It's like silence of the lambs. It's the new normal. Expendables on the run. We under siege, tears of the sun. Some deceased, some released, and some horror. Be acting a movie. Let the credits roll. All who do act properly, they'll go take your soul. Everybody have a task, man in the iron mask. Black box or love story. You control your cinematography. The have and the have-nots in the same pot. Even Bruce Almighty, his Terminator, took a toll on that Trinity. Nothing the love way. On airplane and on a train for COVID like his Game of Thrones. Dr. Fauci and CDC like Spider-Man had no way home.
These are the days of our lives.
All you're trying to convince me.
These are the days of our lives.
Well, alright, Mr. Braveheart, the Union upstart, paints Tobago green like Hulk. Now the Lion King, the party leave him, home alone he is left to sulk.
These are the days of our lives.
I stay out the people, them business.
These are the days of our lives.
Harriet turned to Waterworld. Fantastic Four lost their soul. Divers take flight and die hard on Blue Horizon. Police and Coast Guard in a stew, like Equalizer 1 and 2. One fright at the OK Corral over a red dawn. Be acting a movie, let the credits roll. If you do act properly, they'll go take your soul. Everybody have a task, man in the iron mask. Black box a love story. You control your cinematography. The have and the have-nots in the same pot. Even Bruce Almighty, his Terminator, took a toll on that Trinity. I'm singing love way. Melody obsessed with PCR tests, talking about the right and the wrong. Like Harry Potter, this globetrotter was like the exorcist in town.
These are the days of our lives.
Oh, you better believe it.
These are the days of our lives.
Well, alright, some say chill force like Denzel. Them training the vaccines too sad. Even Djokovic says a death wish. No rush, our bodyguard for he.
These are the days of our lives.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
These are the days of our lives.
People saying deja vu is every 100 years is true. It's like Back to the Future on a global scale. X-Men gone with the wind, like Schindler's List. The sky falling as survivors next of kin waiting to exhale. Be acting and moving. What?
Let the credits roll.
Come, if you don't act properly, tell them. That's right. Everybody have a task, man in the iron mask. Black box a love story. You control your cinematography. The have and the have-nots in the same pot. Even Bruce Almighty, this Terminator, took a toll on that Trinity. Roll the credits.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and welcome to our Dependency. As usual, the days of our lives. We're here, and good morning, Natasha.
Good morning, Garth. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and to all of our viewers and listeners on I95.5 FM and our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like the live, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook.
This morning, Trinidad and Tobago, is a very special morning for us and friends and family of Mr. Grantley Maxwell. Most of you who followed passionately Defence Force football, especially, and Trinidad and Tobago's national team, you will remember that this gentleman, excuse me, this gentleman thrilled us on the soccer pitch. He was one of the, if not the best midfielders in Trinidad and Tobago. And without no doubt, I remember Ronnie Lovelace and Bud Balfour crowning him Sir Grantley Maxwell.
Aye, aye, aye.
And because of his prowess on the football field. He will always be remembered. And fortunately for us, Kenny Lai and Clayton Morris provided us with some pictures. We would see Mr. Maxwell in his earlier days as a national team member and a member of the Trinidad and Tobago Defence Force football team. But as you heard in the promo, something happened. Grantley and I worked together at Defence Force headquarters in Chaguaramas when I started my stint as a physical training instructor in the Trinidad and Tobago Defence Force. It was one of the coveted positions in the Defence Force. We were all separate and apart from the other units because the FHQ was actually the engine room of the Defence Force, and still is in some ways, because there you had P office, procurement, and the likes. I'm going to go so far, Grantley?
Yeah.
And so we grew up in that era, and it's around the same time we, Grantley and I, and so many others, found ourselves gripped by the devil's hand. And the rest, as you know, is history. Folks, this program this morning is for those of you who have children, grandchildren, or a partner struggling with substance abuse, of any kind. And they believe that they don't stand a chance. They believe that every time the person relapses is that they're giving up hope. Grantley Maxwell is here this morning to prove once again that even though relapse is part of recovery, recovery is possible. And those of you who are loyal listeners and followers of Dependency, you know we had Grantley on at least 3 times, with him trying and trying and trying and trying. And he failed many times. You know, coming off and recovering from any addiction, especially crack cocaine addiction, is not an easy thing. And Grantley is here this morning to put the icing on the cake for you and to let you know that there is always hope. Good morning, Grantley.
Good morning, God. Tasha, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning,
Tamika.
Kanisha.
Tamika.
Tamika. Good morning.
Yes, that's Grantley, and Grantley will be sharing his journey with us once again and to tell you what he's doing now. He'll tell you how long he's been clean now and what he's doing now. But, you know, if you, as we say, if you forget your past, those who forget will be doomed to repeat it. So, Natasha?
Yes, I mean, it's so nice to see Grantley again after so many years. He's looking very well. And I'm sure when we go into his story, we will learn of how difficult it is to be an addict. It's a hard life. It's a painful life. And to be still standing and looking strong after decades of abuse of a drug like crack cocaine is a testament to his strength of character, strength of body, and tremendous willpower, because as God said, you know, addiction and relapse is a symptom of addiction. And while it, you know, for those looking on, the relapse seems, you know, is devastating, but think about how the person, him or herself, who is going through it is feeling. So we excited and blessed to have Grantley here in studio with us, so he can go through his ups and downs and explain to us how he has managed to stay in recovery for how long now, Grantley?
I want to keep that as a surprise.
Okay.
Yes. Because we also had Sheldon Aberdeen here.
Yes.
Sheldon is back on the street.
Yes.
And, you know, Sketch is really, I mean, just one step away from total rock bottom. And to start his climb again. But we have to celebrate, and when we get a chance to do that, we do just that.
Yep.
This program is dedicated. We're going to take a break. So after the break, give you some time to call that relative or that friend who you know right now need this little bit of hope and strength here this morning. And listen to Grantley. And then think of your child or family member and understand that they too can recover. So we go to a quick break. Remember, you can join us live on, as usual, welcome those of you on 95.5 on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can join us there because we have that video again to do for you, What is Addiction? And then we have images of Grantley and his colleagues on the national team and defense force team. So Grantley if you see how he looked back then, I mean, like a mini Hulk. Well, you know, Hulk son. Well built, strong. He really looked like an engine sitting in that chair. Trust me, I'm sure he's proud of himself every time he looks at that picture. So let's go to that break, and please pay attention to what's played in the break as well. The Police Complaints Authority has something coming up. You need to pay attention to that. We go to a break. We'll be right back.
Your voice matters. The Police Complaints Authority invites the public to its community outreach sessions.
We would love to hear from you. Feel free to attend and give us feedback.
Join us Tuesday, September 17th, Port of Spain City Hall, and Thursday, September 26th, San Fernando City Hall, both from 6 to 8 p.m. The Police Complaints Authority Community Outreach Sessions, coming soon.
Slavery, a terrible time in our history. The kidnapping, buying and selling of people for profit, the exploitation of another human being. It still exists today. It has a new name: human trafficking. Anyone can be a victim. There is forced labor, sexual exploitation, and domestic servitude. Human trafficking is a worldwide problem and an emerging concern for us here in Trinidad and Tobago. If you know of or suspect human trafficking activity, call the Counter-Trafficking Hotline at 800-4CTU or 800-4288. Human trafficking is a crime. Identify it, report it, stop it. A message from the Counter-Trafficking Unit of the Ministry of National Security.
50 by 20, 50 by 25.
This is Kyron Pollard. When you play, do it the legal way. Don't bet on illegal gaming.
Do you want to support our work at Eye on Dependency? Here are 3 ways to do so. You can make a donation to the Eye on Dependency account at Republic Bank. You can follow the Eye on Dependency page on Facebook. You can subscribe to the Eye on Dependency channel on YouTube. Liking, commenting, and sharing the live on a Sunday also helps. Thanks in advance for your support.
Thank you for staying with us. This is Eye on Dependency. Now we're going to go straight into our interview with Mr. or Sir Grantley Maxwell.
Sir Grantley. So Grantley, come forward. So Grantley, yes, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, before, well, you could go ahead, but before I say anything, I want to say a little prayer.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. Heavenly Father, thank you, Lord, for life. Thank you, Lord, for health and strength. Thank you, Lord, for having me here safely and the rest of the crew. And we ask that, you continue to be here in our midst, and we ask that you take control, Father God, as you did from the beginning, and you continue doing for humanity, for life, for everybody on this earth. And we ask that you continue to give us that inspiration to seek you and what you want us to do as human beings, and we ask that you shower your blessings over this program this morning and everybody involved, those in the studio and the listeners, and that whatever message that people pick up from this, that it will be worthwhile and helpful to the generation, to the future, because Father God, we know that you had to come down because the place in a mess, Father God. We need you to come down and straighten out this country, this world. I see this prayer in no other person's name than your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Grantley?
Yeah.
So you joined the Trinidad and Tobago Regiment, you remember in what year?
1978. 2 March 1978.
You knew you would have been a footballer then, or that it just happened?
I knew I would have been a footballer from the time I born.
Right.
I mean, I born 1958. And 1958, Pele was 17. And he was the star of the Brazilian football team. Sir Garfield served us because I was also a cricketer, a lover of cricket, you know. And Sir Garfield served us as a young man was making waves just as Pele in 1978. So I knew definitely that is where I wanted to go. Yeah.
So you got there, and to make a long story short, how long did it take you to settle down, and the first time you were introduced to cocaine?
Well, the first time I was introduced to cocaine was when I was about 26, 24, between 24 and 26.
You were a member of the Defence Force team then?
Yes, I was.
Right.
Because I joined the work in 78, so I was only the member. I was a member from 1979. Yeah, so I was a member of the Defence Force.
And was during that time, how was it friends that introduced you to it, or you were curious about it? How did it happen? For those of us who didn't remember.
Well, it was all, that was all part of celebrations. You know, after getting accustomed to winning, of course, you know, I didn't just win like that. I prepared myself to win, you know, but after winning, celebration came along. And
this is with the team, and what type of celebration are we talking about here?
we're talking about celebration with drugs, with alcohol, with party,
right,
with women, with you know, just having fun.
No, this is
you know.
No, this is not with the team. This is with your friends.
Well, the team was part of the celebration. Of course, if Army win the league, Army had a celebration.
Right. Well, I know that the drinks flow.
And the drink, right?
Yes.
Right, and in those days, there wasn't any limitation to what you're using, you know, because you're young, you're strong, you're happy, you know, you're just liking yourself, you know. At that time, we look at it as fun, having fun, you know. But, you know, soon we get to realize that it's not totally fun, because I mean, when I joined the army through football. I joined the army to be a footballer in the army, right? Like with other people joined the army, but they went into the lines, into infantry,
right,
into different areas. But my sole area was to play football, to become a football star. You know, that was my army life, being a footballer. The first thing I used to do on a morning after muster was go on the football field and train, right? And in the early years, most of the time I going home after, until they start to fit me into our office to do clerical work and thing, right? But basically, football was my life in the army, right?
So during that free time you had on your hands now, you were telling me some friends.
That's right.
Yeah.
That free time bought assemblies, right? One of the players wasn't living far off, and we used to assemble by him after training, right? We make a cook, and we get everything to use, we stuff to use, and we lime. You know, we drink, we smoke, and that was the life. That was how it went. You know, that was how it went. That became a normal day, you know, a normal day, until when, you know, we would curb the using, because, well, we would have a game in the evening, We had 2-3 games during the week, so we wouldn't be overdoing it, but that was part of the life. You know what I mean?
Do you remember how you felt, Grantley? How you felt when you took that first hit? Is that something that you recall?
Well, after that first hit, it wasn't enough. It definitely wasn't enough. I wanted more. I wanted more because it had me different to being normal, So I wanted to get back that feeling that I just had, because the feeling wouldn't have lasted for a whole hour, 2 hours, or a whole day, So I had to keep looking back for that, always wanting that, yeah. And that is where the problem came in with the drugs, with the using, That's where the problem came in with the using, because it brought you to a point where you want it all the time, and even if you have important things to do, or you have a schedule to live up to, you find you're cutting into that schedule in order to use, in order to get some more, in order to be more, to
feel the same way all the time.
Right. So
now, how did it start to affect your job now? Because now with that, I know the journey you're talking about, and how did it start to affect your performance at work?
Well, in the beginning, performance was normal. Performance was normal, right? You use and you still perform, right? And you still perform because my mentality was hard work. My mentality was definite victory in my mind in all areas, preparation, performance, my peers, my fellow players. I used to be real, I want to see things that happen. And then my players also. We used to, we had a goal. We had a goal. And our goal was, we ain't taking loss. We come out to win. So we used to communicate for victory. Communicate on victory. Right? We used to think about our opponents. We used to think about what we have to do.
Right, but the when you were introduced to crack cocaine by your civilian friends, how eventually it started affecting your performance at work, and that caused a spiral, a domino effect till you were discharged, not so?
Yeah.
Right, and that's the part I want people to understand, that because of that, in getting yourself involved with that part of your added celebration to your success and your continued performance.
Yeah, well, right. Well, the thing is, work, football is only part of it. I still have my whole life. I still have my home to go to, right? I still have other things to do than reporting to play football, reporting to go to a football game. So I have my personal life to deal with still. Now, when I not in uniform, or when I not had to give account to the army for being at their functions and whatnot, football, wherever, I have my own time. And this is where the problem came in, because the drugs ran into that time. You understand? And this is where I selfishly took most of my time into the drugs and And there's where my family life, my responsibilities then, as a man, as a father, as a brother, as a friend, fell down.
So you remember what was the last straw that led to your discharge? Do you remember that?
Well, I used to reach to work late every day. I used to reach to work late every day. Right? I used to live Komoto. And at that time, we were playing games 3 times a week. 3 times a week, right? And we were always playing the last game because the Football Association needed the income by the crowd, the crowd attendance. And if we play early, the crowd leaving after our game. So there ain't nobody to watch the next game. So that's why they always used to have us playing the second game. So that the crowd would come in, they would have a double attendance and pick up the money and all kind of thing, right? But my where I used to get in trouble is that I used to leave the games close to 12 o'clock and I had to drive to Komoto. And when I reached Komoto, you find it's 2, 3 o'clock, I jump in and sleep. And I had to get up 5 o'clock to come back down and Shagramas. You understand? And that caused a problem.
So you still used to go and get it before you go home?
Well, that is what used to go on. That is what used to happen because that became part of my life also.
So you had to take a couple of hit of rocks before you go to sleep to get up to go to work?
No. It wasn't like that. But the thing is, it was part of my living. It was like if I had to go in the toilet, it was like if I had to go in the bathroom. Because it was always around. It was always there to take part in.
Yeah,
together with my normal living.
Because I'm trying to paint a picture here because I understand that part of the journey. So you leave the game late, you reach home, but you must... Right, that's what I mean.
Part of the routine.
Right. Yeah,
yes, part of the routine.
Yeah.
And we know how that goes. After the last one, it could almost never be the last one.
That's right. You take up most of your time.
If you have to go back on your and come
extra
back,
time and all, all
right.
that.
Right.
You know.
So that way you're absent most of the time. A lot.
Late, not absent.
Well, I mean, you know what we mean by when we say absent. You know it's late, but the civilian is late. But you understand, you know BP and them, once you're 1 minute late on the muster, you're absent. Right? So that's what I meant.
And that used to cause a problem. Because everybody else used to be early.
Right.
You know? So that used to cause a problem. That caused a problem for me. Yeah.
You remember who discharged you?
Well...
Was Ralph Brown at the time?
No.
Who was the CDS at the time? Because I
didn't see no CDS, and I went TTR. I got the mind discharge in TTR.
Okay. Well, yeah, that time probably the structure was different. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and we have a conversation with Grantley Maxwell, former national football player, former Defence Force football player as well. And he's taken us through, some of you would have heard his story before, but Grantley now, after this break, will tell us about that journey, the first journey to prison. Which one came first, rehab or prison? Because jail, institutions of death, obviously he's still alive, so he's here with us. But it happens in any order. Grantley's going to let us know, well, what was his first trip to anywhere, either rehab or prison, right after this break. You're listening to Dependency. We'll be back.
We use the term addiction to cover a whole range of different behavioural problems that people experience in controlling behaviours. Many years ago, of course, the term was used quite narrowly to cover problems that people had with what we would now consider to be physical addiction. You take a drug, you get used to the drug, your body adapts physiologically, and then when you stop taking the drug, you suffer unpleasant or even life-threatening withdrawal symptoms. We no longer use the term in that way for a very good reason, and that is we've come to understand that there's actually a wide range of different kinds of behaviours which fall into this broad category that we want to call addiction, because the real problem is not the withdrawal symptoms per se, but it's what happens to the person's free will, if you like, what happens to the choices that they make, the behaviours that they engage in. We now recognise that addiction covers things that don't even involve drugs, gambling for example, some forms of internet use, and even issues such as eating disorders or obesity. So there is this general term that we're now using to describe a behavioural problem in which there's a powerful motivation to engage in a behaviour which has been learnt through experience and which is causing harm. The way that society treats them affects the problems that the users experience. So for example, when you have something like alcohol dependence or addiction to cigarettes, both of which comprise behaviours which are essentially legal, then you've got a different set of problems than if you're trying to deal with problems associated with illicit drug use. The fundamental differences arise from the social context, the pharmacology of the drug, if there is a drug involved, and the psychological reactions to the drug and the social context in which it occurs. The way we understand addiction affects what we do to try to combat it. Let's say you're a politician or working in an agency that's involved in interventions to try to combat addiction. If your model of addiction is that it is fundamentally about choice, about free choice that addicts make, then you will engage in a certain kind of intervention. You will engage in interventions that affect that choice. For example, you'll use the criminal justice system, you'll use taxation, you'll use mass media campaigns to try to tackle the problem. If you're someone who believes that addiction is fundamentally a brain disease, then it's a different set of interventions. You will try to look for better drugs to help people to stop, or better behavioural support programs to treat this disease process. So it makes a very big difference how you view the problem.
Thank you for staying with us. This is Eye on Dependency, and we're continuing our conversation with Grantley Maxwell so we're at the point now where he has been discharged and is now fully, on a path to I don't want to say full-blown addiction, but on a path to, decades of abuse.
Yeah. First of all, Grantley, how did it feel when you got that word, you discharged? How did it feel for you? When I got discharged?
Well, I was surprised. I mean, I wasn't looking out for that. I wasn't looking out for that at all. But I accepted it. I remember my brother, my eldest brother, who was like a father figure to me. He asked me, so what you gonna do now? I say, what do you mean? I go get a next job. The man get mad, yes, when I tell him that. Because he thought it was such a simple answer to a big situation, because I was a married man with children, and I get throughout my work. And not only that too, because everybody knew the reason for my getting through was being on drugs and using drugs. You understand? And just now, a minute ago, Tasha, you mentioned that it's not. What were you saying just now about
full-blown addiction?
Full-blown addiction. and like I didn't want to mention it, but that's what it is. That's what it was.
How did it affect your family? How did that affect your wife and family?
It was devious. It was devious. It was. I mean, at that point, I left home. Right, I left. I just walk out the door.
You left your wife and your children.
My wife and my children. I just walk out the door.
To go where?
And to go where? On the streets.
Wow.
On the streets, because I couldn't go back to my home by my father because I was on drugs. They wouldn't have taken me home. You understand? But that was the extent of that was the extent of the addiction.
No, I want people to understand this, Grantley.
Yeah.
That some people ask, how you could just walk out and leave your wife and family for a drug? But people don't understand the power of that drug that will make, and you're not the first and you won't be the last. But I just want people to understand what you said there, that you would prefer to give up on you because you were being challenged too, not right? I guess.
Definitely. You see, I brought myself into a state that control me. You understand? I was into the drugs. I became a regular user, and it got into my blood. It got into my blood. It got into my system. It got into my mind. That I wanted it and needed it more than anything else. And it clogged up. It clogged up, like I said, clogged up my mind. I was unable to think straight. I was unable to counteract that
craving.
That craving, that the position I put myself in, you know what I mean?
Was there anybody, Grantley, like in the military or elsewhere in your family, that tried to pull you square and say, Grantley, what are you doing? Why you throwing away your career in football? Why are you throwing away a good job in the army? Why?
Yeah, there were always people. There were always people who noticed my behavior, my performance. And they try to help me. They try to. They try to. But my weakness, my being unable to control my desire. It left the situation, in a drastic position for me.
So the family, when you decided to walk out on them, that was, they too try to come get you and for you to change your mind about what you do?
Well, as a matter of fact, I think they were kind of relieved and because I was really causing havoc at home.
So
I was wasn't facing up to my responsibility as the leader of the family, and everything was breaking down. I was doing, I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do, and I was doing worse because I was doing things that was hurtful and things that was making the whole situation fall down home.
So this is including stealing stuff from home, selling
Of
stuff
course,
from home.
of course. Stealing was secondary. I did anything, almost anything, to have my hit, my smoke. You understand? I take my wife would go in the grocery. I would take the groceries because after I leave the work, after I was thrown out the work, expelled from the job, my wife was, the bread, you know, she was running the house,
Right.
you know, and
How many children?
3 children.
Right.
And I used to imagine that. I mean, when she bring groceries home, I would sneak and take them groceries and sell it to get money to buy drugs. You understand? I remember a day she come from work, and I in the drawing room watching TV, and she come and she I mean, I laughing, but oh God, I know how that hurt, and I know how that kind of behavior in our home was. You know how that affected people. You understand? The lady come from work, sweating. She 8 hours. She did hard. She come. She rest down. She pose, and she gone inside by the mother, and that woman fly outside from that bedroom. Like she set on fire inside the bedroom or wherever. She just fly back out and raft that post because she remember that I sitting down in front of the bag.
Wow.
That she just rest down. You understand? And that kind of feeling in our family, you know, oh God. I mean, that could mash up. That could mash up. You understand? And that was the thing, that was the kind of thing that was happening while I was there. And I mean, that just break me. I just run out of the house, leave my children and them. Even before my children wrote a common entrance. I mean, before, when they were born and they thinking, because I mean, I was there, tight family thing, you know. I wasn't on drugs yet. I was using marijuana, I was drinking my little beers, rum and thing, but I wasn't on the cocaine as yet. So we had a family thing going still. I mean, I was facing up to my responsibilities and everything was going okay. But when the cocaine came in and you know, I started to want that, everything just went haywire. You understand? And I personally tell myself, boy, if I stay in this house could crumble. This house could crumble. I had to leave here in order to give them room to breathe, in order to give them room to survive. I had to leave here. Otherwise.
And from that day, that led to 40 years of constant addiction, constant use.
Well, not as much as 40, but very close.
If you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and we are speaking with former national football player, former Defence Force football player, former husband, still a father, but former husband, and he's taking us through. Grantley Maxwell is his name. He's taking us through, and those of you who followed football back in the day, you would remember this name. And if you can't remember, then we have some footage to show you of him, you know, when he represented both institutions. And so you decided to go to rehab. What prompted that first decision, and who helped you make that decision?
Well, I was out there, and I needed to do something. You know, I needed to do something about my life. Though I went out, I left home and I went out on the streets, and I was out there, you know, behind the drugs. I know I could do better than that, and I should be doing better than that, because I had responsibility still. I had my children to think about, to see about still, you know, and you know, I wasn't about to just end my life or throw away my life just because I had a addiction problem, and just because you know, the drugs had taken over my life. So I had to do something. I had to try, make an effort to do something. And I was given the opportunity to go up in New Life Ministries. I had a good friend who also was in the army. I believe he was expelled from the army also.
You were discharged.
But I'm not sure. But
who, Robert, you talking about?
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
He had the same, yeah.
Right, so.
Because he was at New Life Ministries as a client back
Right,
then.
and he became a counselor after. And,
Yes.
and he offered to help me. Right? And he offered to help me. And he even talked about the initial money he had to pay, that he would get a breakdown from you know, the full amount. So I was given the opportunity to go up there and do that program, which I did, right? And then after...
You graduated?
Yeah, I graduated, of course. I graduated.
The family came?
Family came, yes. Family came, yeah. They were not pleased, but they came.
So your wife and children attended your graduation, or just your wife?
Yeah, they were involved. They were involved with the graduation.
Right.
I don't think the children were there, but she was involved, you know.
So that was supposed to be a fresh start, Grantley, right?
Definitely, it was supposed to be a fresh
Now,
start.
why haven't you
started off as a fresh start?
Why haven't you explained this? Because there are people who are listening to you going through this right now. And this is why you know, we didn't have to go here. And I don't even want us to stay too long here, because you've been to rehab at least 8 times and to prison at least 8 times.
Definitely.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I want that person listening to understand that they're not alone. So this is why, you know, we are here right now. So that was supposed to be a fresh start. So you graduated, you all went home, everybody welcomed you, and thinking that was it, right?
Yeah.
And also that people should understand rehab is not a quick fix, huh?
No,
You're not going to send the person to rehab and they're cured, right? That's not how this disease works, unfortunately. Right, Grantley?
No, well, obviously, you get a fresh start, as God was saying. You get a fresh start. You get absence from using.
Mm-hmm.
You get a cleaner bill of health. You get a clearer, you get a clearer mindset, you know. And if used in the right way, you know, if used in the right direction, you could and should make use of that and do good for yourself.
What happened?
But the whole thing is that the program, as you rightly said, Tasha, is not a quick fix, and so you need to continue your program. Yes. When you finish your program, you need to continue your program, and not now. Usually, when you finish your program, you have a 1 day a week revisit to the rehab. They call it follow up, right? But as a recovering as a person who did a program, and you know, you need not only to revisit the rehab one day a week. You need to revisit your life each day, because it's an ongoing process. Good, you do your 3 months, right? And you have the show the teacher what to do, what you should do, what they show you ways and means that
they give you tools to live by.
They give you tools to live by.
Right.
And you, as that client, supposed to continue that each and every day.
Yes. But what happened when you got back home?
Well,
what happened?
What happened as a normal human being, you tend to. A lot of things happen. A lot of different things happen. You tend to feel, well, that 3 months was enough for you. You know, you tend to feel that you get over your sickness. You know, some of the tools and the advice and the training they give you stop doing it. For instance, they tell you people, places, and things you need to stay away from. But mind you, as you reach back out in your neighborhood, you're going back lining with your same partners.
No, this is you you're talking about, right?
This is
you you're talking about.
Yeah, well, me, I talking
Right,
about.
yes.
Yeah.
Right.
I go on line back with same partners.
Right.
I go on, I doing the same things I used to do, you know, because I figure, well,
You could handle it.
I could handle it. I do my 3 months and I got to go. You understand? I don't need to do this kind of thing.
Was your wife protesting?
Well, you remember, I know I didn't go back. I was with my wife, you know.
Oh, you mean, so after the graduation, you didn't go back home, you all had separated then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
remember, I am the person that walk away from that.
Oh,
So
I see.
I wasn't accepted with open doors in that kind of sense. I had to find my way.
So
I went back home to
right.
my family, to my
mom and sister and so
well,
on.
my mom wasn't there, but my father, my brother, my sister. I was, and still, I was given an opportunity. Not to say, yes, you come back home, you're home, you stay here. No, because if I had done anything contrary, when I now came back, it was out I was going. But I did last a little while, you know. But eventually, I started back using.
So for the people who listening now, what was that trigger for you to start back using? Because what you explained there, what we try to get people to understand, there is a certain pattern that comes back. Now remember, we were in a house with a family who we gave them sleepless nights. Every noise they heard, they jumping up, all this type of thing. But when you come from rehab, they expect to see that change. They expect you to see you not liming, you're home by a certain time. That kind of things, right? They expect to see that from us. That pattern was broken by you, and you could take us from there.
Well, right. As you rightly say, the pattern was broken. It changed. You know, I started doing the things that I had stopped doing. You know, I started doing the things that was foreign to me because of the 3 months. You know, so things started getting back normal. You know, and that spoiled everything. They because they're watching me. They're watching my every move.
Yes.
Right? They you know, and when they talk to me, I ain't listening to them.
You're aggressive.
Yeah, aggressive. You understand? I answering back. You know? I feel, you know, I could do my own thing. You know, so I don't want to hear them. You understand? And that lead me to trouble, you know.
Tell us about your first encounter with the law and your first trip to prison. What was that about?
Well, that was basically, that came from the being on the streets, you know, and walking with paraphernalia, having drugs on you, drugs that I might just come from buying, you know, and most of the time, it's surprisingly I encounter the police on the road, or you know, and they would search you, they would find paraphernalia, they would find cocaine, and they would charge you. They would carry you in the station and charge you, carry you to court, you know, and magistrate sending you down.
How much time you got?
Well, I went to prison like about 9 times. 9 trips I make. But each one was for paraphernalia, and so all my time was small time. All my time was breeze. Was
3 months, 4 months?
3 months, 3 months. All the time. All my jail was 3 months.
Did any time you ever try to reach out to the magistrate to ask, to say, look, I need help, I have a drug problem, I have a problem and I need help? Did you ever?
No, well, that never came up. That never came up because the charge sheet was in front of her. I was in possession of paraphernalia and cocaine down the road. That was the end.
Hence the reason for drug treatment course.
No, but hence the reason they had that revolving door.
Yes.
Because nobody wanted to find out, but why you keep coming in front of me with this on you?
Correct.
Why?
When it was clear from
You had a
just
problem.
the charge alone that he had a problem.
And at no point in time did the magistrate try to talk to you or say, son, why don't you get help, or even refer you to a rehab facility or anything like that? Nobody tried that?
No, I know, no. I never get that from the court. Never get that from the court or even from our officer. Because they were more interested in writing up a charge with their name at the end of it.
Right.
For their promotion, for their personal advancement in the office. They used to be happy. They used to be happy to pull you in and charge you.
So nobody recognized you, Grantley Maxwell, when every time they arrested you or charged
I mean,
you?
yes, they recognized me, yes, as the footballer, as the soldier. Yeah. I mean, but they were intent on writing up the charge and getting their commendation. That was their.
Or is it that they felt that was the best thing to do for you at the time too? Maybe you think a police officer might think, well, better you come off the street.
I mean, they would say that. They would say that, but I doubt that they really believe that. I doubt that they really believe that because I mean, I could see that these guys were happy to write up a charge and put me in jail and send me down the road. I never really think that these guys thought that was the best thing for me. Because and let me tell you something, that prison, that jail, is the worst place I ever went in the world. The worst.
And you went 9 times?
And I went 9 times. Yeah? I went 9 times. People even say, but you like inside it, but inside it nice. But it's the worst place I ever went in my life. Yeah, the worst place. You understand? And in my time of with all this jail thing and locking up and all kind of thing, I remember, let me tell you the kind of treatment I get from them police one day. And one night they catch me fishing out something from a gas station close to me, right? You know what them do me? They carry me in the police station. They put me on a wall. Stretch out my hand and my foot. And they get some whips. Some long whips. And they beat me. They beat me on my back and behind my legs. When they're done, all my skin swollen. Yeah. And they just, when they're done, when they're tired, because about 4 or 5 of them, exchanging. As one get tired, the next one come in.
Wow.
Yeah. And they just open the door, the police station, and send me home. So them police and them.
So, but what would
them care? Them care. Them only.
And what about while you were in prison, you mentioned that is really a horrible place. And
the most horrible place I ever been.
Was there any attempt in the prison setting to do Alcoholics Anonymous, any kind of self-help, any assistance with your addiction? Because it was clear you had been there several times. It's clear that you have a problem. Was there any attempt by the prison authorities to assist?
No. There was never no attempt.
There had no program, no.
No. You had to want. You had to seek that, and I did that through like joining little church groups.
Right.
in the prison, you know, trying to get little employment, because that's part of the system. That's part of the jail system.
Yeah.
That, you know, they have different sections where everybody could get a little employment. They have like agriculture, they have plumbing, they have they have masonry, they have painters. You understand? And I used to fall in. I used to try and get in these programs to kind of
occupy your time and
occupy my time and my mind, my sanity and everything. You know.
But there wasn't any
But there wasn't
formal
any
drug treatment.
No.
Rehabilitation.
It never had that. It never had.
If you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and we are speaking with Mr. Grantley Maxwell. We don't even have enough time for Grantley to really tell you what he's been through and what he's experienced. I will ask him to tell one other story after this break about being tied to a chair. What some business people tried to do him as well. And this is the life, folks. We're not glorifying this here, but I'm just trying to explain to you who are listening the life of a crack addict on the street. When your son or daughter or husband or wife walk away from home because they fell in love with one of these addictive substances. This is what happens.
And remember too, God, I think people should understand that, as I said in the beginning, an addict, someone who has a drug use disorder, is not because he or she wants to do it. It's not as if, people say nobody is sending you to use drugs. So you look for where you get, right? But the addict, the person who has a drug use disorder is in pain, and he or she is using the drugs to numb that pain. I want people to remember this. It's not as if the addict is a masochist and is enjoying the pain that other people are inflicting on him or her.
This is why, too, at Dependency, we were trying to get ourselves involved, just the way we learned in Canada at the Center for Addiction and Mental Health, where we treatment options and the way they deal with issues out there. We were exposed to a lot of that, and this is one thing we were hoping that our Trinidad and Tobago Police Service here would have embraced, because at the Center for Addiction and Mental Health in Canada, they actually have people in recovery who work with the police now. Yes. The police actually went to them for help because they wanted to understand the life of an addict. And if we had managed to convince our police service here that what happened to Grantley at that station would not have happened. Never happen. But that's the punitive nature of some of us in Trinidad and Tobago. I feel you could beat addiction out of somebody or jail addiction out of them. It's not going to happen. We're going to be back after this break. And remember, we have some footage to show you of Grantley in his heydays. And as I said, I say good morning to Sir Gordon Husbands, Kenny Lai, Clayton Morris, and all of you, Pamphil Jones.
Doddridge
Jack, and from Trinidad and Tobago Armed Forces Veteran Association, who sends their regards. And all of you out there who supporting Grantley still. Also, we have a clip from a lady.
Yes,
when you were on our program, you might recognize her voice, and you will tell us if she's still alive, because that was how many years ago?
Oh, gosh.
14, maybe? When she called you and what she said to you on that, when we were on in the evening that time. So, folks, let's go to a break. And remember, those of you morning to our YouTube family, always there for us as usual. Thank you so much.
And don't forget
Facebook
to
as well.
like the live on Facebook, like the live on YouTube, please. I only see 12 on YouTube and 14 on Facebook. We could do better than that, people.
We're going to take a break. We'll be back.
Hello, Trinidad and Tobago. We know that you would have heard this.
Fed up at the boom, fed up at the bang, fed up at the warring, fed up at the gangs.
Now we are calling on talented youth under the age of 24 to answer the call. We will provide you with the instrumental. All you have to do is fill it with your own lyrics.
Yo, my name is Willie Ben, and me come for deal with all them geezer and pull them out like hair on a tweezer.
Well, not like that, but your own conscious lyrics.
Answer the call and you can win a professional music video and audio recording. Thousands of dollars in prizes. Make your team of 5. Grab your smartphone and 4 of your friends. Download the beat from the link on the Call to Order TT and Ministry of National Security Instagram pages and create your call video with your own lyrics. Post it to Instagram with the hashtags Call to Order Project or 1MNS and look out for the results.
This is the Call to Order project, powered by the Ministry of National Security.
Slavery, a terrible time in our history. The kidnapping, buying and selling of people for profit, the exploitation of another human being. It still exists today. It has a new name: human trafficking. Anyone can be a victim. There is forced labor, sexual exploitation, and domestic servitude. Human trafficking is a worldwide problem and an emerging concern for us here in Trinidad and Tobago. If you know of or suspect human trafficking activity, call the counter-trafficking hotline at 800-4CTU or 800-4288. Human trafficking is a crime. Identify it, report it, stop it. A message from the counter-trafficking unit of the Ministry of National Security.
50 by 20, 50 by 25.
This is Kyron Pollard. When you play, do it the legal way. Don't bet on illegal gaming.
Hi, I'm Kathy, and I'm an active alumni and volunteer at the Toronto Drug Treatment Court. You're listening to Eye on Dependency with Garth and Natasha, Trinidad and Tobago. Drug Treatment Court's work.
Thank you for staying with us. This is Eye on Dependency. Thank you very much for joining us. Again, to our YouTube and Facebook audience, please like the live. It costs nothing. It's free of charge. Just hit that button, that like button. It really does help us get our numbers up and keep us on the air.
Good morning, Raymond Harris. Raymond Harris said, "Good morning, Garth. I am an alcoholic and did all the things just as Mr. Maxwell sold all gas tanks from the house to get my alcohol."
Yes.
So you have someone who is identifying already with you here. And but Grantley, we've been talking off air too as well. And again, we got on Natasha and Dependency. We are proud to say that we've done our part in Trinidad and Tobago. We have the drug treatment courts here in Trinidad and Tobago because of our dependency. And had it been, maybe if it existed back in that time, maybe. But again, it was for a magistrate or police officer to decide, this man's sick, these people sick. You said you were arrested for a stem. Could you explain that to the public, what you were, one of the things you were arrested for?
Well, not one of the things, like I say, all my jail sentences I was arrested for being in possession of paraphernalia, which is a pipe to use to smoke, and at the same time I may have had in my possession a little piece of cocaine that I had just bought from the pusherman, you know.
And you were found with a purple stem. You were just explaining that.
Yes. Well, a purple stem was a paraphernalia because it was used to smoke, to pipe with, right?
And you're arrested and charged
and
for
yeah,
that.
of course I was arrested and charged.
Now I want people to understand the purple stem, which is the stem that holds the leaf. So you would cut that and cut out a part of that stem because it's hollow on the inside, not so?
That's right.
Right. And you had a mesh on top of that.
Right.
A police arrested you with that.
With that.
And charged you.
And charged me.
And a magistrate sent you again up the road.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
6 months.
6 months?
6 months to do 3.
And folks, this is the problem we continue to see here. That we really feel that we could lock away an addiction and the addict would leave that addiction in prison when they leave prison. It don't work like that. This is why Grantley made 9 trips. Correct. But you could you tell the country now, before we go to a clean time, as addicts would do, and I'm seeing it every day on social media, people jumping wall, people climbing fence, people breaking in, people snatching chain, doing everything. I know the signs and symptoms. You paid, or you almost paid with your life on one occasion. Could you let mommy and daddy who listening understand what their son could be going through?
Well,
Tell us about that incident.
Yeah, well, I remember one time looking for money to buy drugs. I stolen a bag of bottles from a neighbor, and you know, well, I was the only drug user among these fellas. I mean, although they were using drugs, but they never considered it as drugs. Alcohol is a drug. They were drinkers, rum drinkers, beer drinkers, or whatever. That is a drug. But they, well, once when they look at somebody who's using cocaine, they look at him as less than them, right? And I was the only one using the drugs in the area. This, when I say the area, this was a house that I used to work in. I used to do little odd jobs. Sweep the yard, weed the yard, clean this, clean that, you know. And a bag of bottles was missing. I stole the bottles, of course. I stole the bottles because I wanted money to buy drugs. Nobody saw me taking the bottles. Nobody knew it was me, but they blame me. And they tie me on a chair and throw gasoline on me. And it was only God that stopped them from flicking the lighter and lighting me up. Yeah, for a bag of bottles. But I mean, I can't blame them. I had to blame myself. Right. Because I wanted drugs to smoke. And I saw no other way but to take something from the people, which was them own, not mine. Right? So that is the life. That is the life.
You were tied to a chair and gasoline was poured on you. Now, during that time, did you, as they say, see your life flash before you because you thought that they were really going to do it?
Well, I didn't. When I say miss my life,
because
I was here and you thought you
yeah. Did you see that?
Well, now because I was still having a hope again. I still had hope in my mind that I would get out of this somehow. But I was basically tied on, so I didn't know how I was getting out, but I still wasn't looking at it as you know, as that the end. But what it would have been if they flick the light and throw it, because I already had gas on me and I was tied on. Yeah. So
didn't that say Grantley, that is enough, boy? Didn't that?
It did not, because as soon as they let me go, I went looking for a smoke.
Oh my Lord.
You understand? That was, I mean, that is the life of a drug user. And I was out there doing that every day for almost 36 years, you know.
What was the last straw, Grantley? Because you are now how many years clean?
I am 2 years, 4 months, and 19 days clean. Yeah.
What was your...
I had to do that. You know why? It's not easy to stay 1 day clean as an addict. Grantley, congratulations. And you are now the chairman of a group as well.
Yes, I chair the group in Arima.
Tell us, because James, we know James Howard was the chairman of that group for quite a while, and what was the relationship and how did you accept when he asked you?
Well, I know it would have been helpful for me, and you know, today I'm not turning back in my life. I'm moving forward. I going forward for the, you know, for the rest of my life. I going forward.
What was the last straw? What was that defining moment for you to say, Grantley, this is it? One more time.
Well, I thought I had enough. I thought enough was enough pain, enough loneliness, enough just doing the same thing over and over for years. Enough was enough. You know, I was a friend of mine came to me and he he talked to me as our brothers. We are accustomed because we live together, we play together.
That's Japa, right?
That's right.
How he doing, man? I haven't seen Japa in years, and because he was with us too. He had his struggles too as well.
Japa going good. He's going very good. He's going very good. And he came to me and he said, Grantley, I have something for you. I was using, he said he wouldn't rush me into it right away, but he let me know about it, and he said, as soon as you're ready, call me, and we'll organize, and he will organize. And a month or something after, at almost 2 months or 3 months, I lie down in my bed at night, and I just, going through the motions. Because I think I was smoking, because I was smoking. And after I pull, I say, boy, Grantley, there's it. Because, although I was using, although I was out there playing the fool, I always made an effort to try and stop, to change my life. I never stopped giving up. I never give up, to try and get myself out of that hole.
You had it in you. You had it.
Well, Grantley, I used to say, Grantley, you can't live all your life this way. I used to tell myself that every time. I used to be going down by the pusherman and saying, I tell him, boy, you had to be a madman, Grantley. You had to be a madman. Where you going? But I still went. I still go and buy my thing and come back home and smoke. You understand? But I always had that on my mind. I can't live my whole life this way. I can't continue living this way. It just can't happen. Yeah, and
but
I think.
Sorry.
No, I was just gonna to point out to the audience that this is the root of recovery. This is what is at the root of recovery. The addict, him or herself, needs to want to live his or her life without the drugs. It has to come from them, meaning that you can't talk your way into or beat your way into or lock up your way into sobriety. It has to come from the individual and a desire to live a life free from drugs.
That's the message I want to send to you all. We want to send to you all here with this program this morning. Like I tell many mothers who call me over and over and over. In the end of it, it is the individual who must have the burning desire to say enough is enough.
Yep.
As Grantley said, I got tired too. When I got arrested on that December, when I was released on the 11th of June, 1991, I said, that's it, I am done. And as God is my witness, I've never looked back. Because I knew if I had gone back, it would have been the end of me. Grantley did the same thing. And ladies and gentlemen, if you have a friend, family, whoever hooked on alcohol, gambling, crack cocaine, ecstasy, now we have ecstasy, molly, ketamine, we have a longer list. You will have to watch them, go through their journey. You could try to help, but at the end of it all, there is only one person who can stop that person. It is that person. Could we play that clip before we show the pictures? And we have a special guest holding on to speak with us in a moment, and he and Grantley we'll have that interaction with him. Hope he has at least 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes to spare with us. But the clip.
Short man, could you play the clip that I just sent you via WhatsApp? It's
a short man. One. Thank you so much for your understanding.
This clip was a caller who called into the show that we did. I think it was 2007 or 8. And she called into the program and she had some things to say to Grantley.
When we opened the lines, she called in, and this is what she had to say. Go ahead, Shortman. Good evening.
Grantley, this is Shortman from a rehab into.
Yes, ma'am.
Grantley, you touched my heart tonight. Grantley, continue to pray. Energy that you put on the football field, Grantley, put it towards that program, Grantley.
Yes, ma'am.
God
Yes,
Natasha is trying hard, Grantley. Show them that you can do it, Grantley. Make us proud once again in Arima. Grantley, we love you and you know it, Grantley. You can do it for us. Grantley, if you don't want to do it for you, do it for us, Grantley. Grantley, from today, let's start it again, Grantley. Grantley, if there's any way I can help you, you know where I live. Come, Grantley, I will help you.
Thank you very much, madam.
My heart, Grantley. God and Natasha, thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the support.
Play it one more time, Shortman. Good evening.
Grantley, this is Shortman from a rehab into.
Yes, ma'am.
Grantley, you touched my heart tonight. Grantley, continue to pray. Energy that you put on the football field, Grantley, put it towards that program, Grantley.
Yes, ma'am.
God
Yes,
Natasha
ma'am.
is trying hard, Grantley. Show them that you can do it, Grantley. Make us proud once again in Arima. Grantley, we love you and you know it, Grantley. You can do it for us. Grantley, if you don't want to do it for you, do it for us, Grantley. Grantley, from today, let's start it again, Grantley. Grantley, if there's any way I can help you, you know where I live. Come, Grantley, I will help you.
Thank you very much, madam.
My heart, Grantley. God and Natasha, thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the support.
You said you haven't seen her, or you don't know if she's
Yeah,
still
yeah, I
alive.
haven't seen her in a while. And then too, since I haven't been on the road for the last 2 years and 4 months, and my life changed. I give myself to God. I baptize and everything. My life different. I going down a different route today.
We have on the line, good morning to you, my brother from another mother, our brother from another mother. Good morning, Clayton Morris.
Good morning, Mr. Sinclair. And it's an honor for me to say good morning to Mr. Grantley Maxwell.
Morning, Clayton. Morning, man. Blessings.
Grantley, you know who you're speaking to?
Of course. Oh, no.
You're sure?
Remember, I used to live St. Anne's, I used to live St. Anne's Street.
All right.
Clayton Morris.
Y'all are in tears here, God.
I know, boy, I know. But you know what? It's a celebration this morning, right? So, Shortman, put up image B for us, please. And Clayton, we want to thank you for sending this to us when we reached out to you. And it shows here Grantley, and for those of you who are looking on Facebook and YouTube, can we get it up here so we can see it? Those of you looking on Facebook and YouTube, what we have here, we have reached out to Clayton Morris, and he sent this picture of Grantley and the national team because we did some real searching on the TTF, I couldn't find it.
On the internet,
Yeah, TTFA, you have to do better with your archiving. Please, let's take this as a note this morning, that we should just pull up TTF website and see these pictures. But Clayton, we want to thank you very much. So, Clayton, we have the picture up on the screen here, and well, Grantley is the first on the left.
Yeah.
Right? Which one of the picture you have? The one in the red?
Yes.
The uniform, right.
Yeah.
Grantley is the first person from the left.
Right. So Grantley will tell us and identify who are the people, because these were big guys Grantley was playing with. Now, Clayton have a nickname for you. If I had known you back then, I'd call you Spaghetti. Because you...
You can see the mother milk on your face.
Yeah, boy, Clayton was real. You want to try my glasses? Yes. Try me if it's working. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Right. So tell us who sits in... Here the lineup of people Grantley and Clayton Morris played with, folks. Call the names, Grantley.
Well, in the back row, you have Novik Dinon.
Right.
You have Ralph Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
You have Curtis Morrell, Brian John. You have deceased Roderick Warner.
Brian is deceased to a Maxi. Brian John, God rest his soul.
Seriously?
Yes, Maxi, go ahead.
When?
Go ahead. Go ahead, about 3-4 years ago. Go ahead.
Oh, God. Brian John, boy. What the hell is this?
Yes.
Leroy Span, Michael Morris, Hayden, Hayden Thomas, Maurice Alabi, PTI,
Garrick Adams.
Garrick Adams, Vunan,
Charles Jericho.
Vunan Charles Jericho. I forget the one in front of Maurice Alabi. I forget his name, but we all know him.
Goalkeeper?
No, the one in front of Alabi.
Well, I'm not watching the footwear.
I forward a little forward for the Barataria team now.
Courtesy Lester Monkey.
Monkey, that's right. And then we have Garcia, Shiggy.
I thought that was Shiggy.
Julian Garcia, that's our Remian.
Yeah, Julian Garcia. His son on the national team right now.
Yeah, Justin, yes.
The Holland coach, Zwatkov.
John Zaskov, yes.
And I don't know the next guy, the Indian guy there.
Right, Joel Rahim, he passed on too.
Okay, sorry to hear that. Right, Rahim, right, okay. Yeah. And then we have the
in the front row now.
The equipment manager, O'Brien.
Yeah, Desmond O'Brien, he's still around.
Yeah, and right.
Who's sergeant?
Who
was in army?
No.
Okay.
O'Brien from Samoa, equipment manager.
Okay.
The front row, yours truly.
What's that picture now, Clayton? I can imagine what a beast this man was. I watching their muscles and.
No, go ahead, guys. Go ahead.
We have Ron Laffoy.
Next up, man, boy.
Yes. Robert Quito Joseph.
Yeah.
Brian Williams.
Yes.
Then we have Bima. Bima is
Chance.
Michael Chance. Bima. Michael Chance, better known as Bima. Yeah. And we have my good friend here, Clayton Morris.
Go skinny Clayton Morris. Clayton Spaghetti Morris.
We could see this was your first talk, Clayton. We could see this was your first talk.
Yeah, that's my first talk.
How old were you on this talk, Clayton?
17, 18, 19.
Wow.
I just left the under 19 team, so was just 19, around 19.
Wow. 19. And the last guy, I forget his name, but I'm a good friend too. He used to play a wing back. Gosh, boy.
That is Bella.
Who?
Vaughan Alexander.
Vaughan Alexander, that's right.
Bella.
That's
Bella from Borussia.
Bell, right. Yeah.
Right. Those, and
that was what year, Clayton?
84. That would have been 1983, 84.
Right. And you all didn't have no name then, like Soca Warriors and Strike Squad and all them
things? No. Just the national senior team.
Right. So the next image, short man, let's go to the other one you sent us, Clayton. That's the all in tracksuit here now in black.
Well, that was on our tour to Martinique. We went to play in this.
Oh, sorry. No, yes, no. Sorry, Clayton. That was that is image C. The national team.
No, I only got one picture.
In the black tracksuit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was on our tour. We went to Martinique.
Oh, that you want to send for Shortman later, and Shortman, you could find that one.
You see a few.
Right, but this is Defense Force we have on the screen here now, Clayton. So,
okay.
Right, no, sorry. Shortman found the other one you sent. So we'll go back to that, and before we go to Defense Force, right. So this is Maxwell. You recognize anybody here?
Yeah, and I forget to call this guy name in the first pit here.
Mm-hmm.
The Tobagonian goalkeeper, boy.
The who?
The Tobagonian goalkeeper.
Tobagonian?
The Tobagonian.
John Granville.
That's right, Granville. I forget to call his name in the first pit here.
Right.
Because I couldn't remember it.
So we have another set of players here with you and Maxwell in it.
Maxwell. Basically some of the same players, but they have some addition there.
Right.
You could make him out easy.
Yeah, and he's still looking small there. Yeah. The back row from left, Maurice Alabi.
Yes.
Granville, Vernon Skinner,
Yes.
Errol McFarlane,
Yeah,
Yes.
Skip boy.
Brian Williams,
Yes.
the goalkeeper from Palo Seco, I forget his name.
Sherland David.
Sherland David. The Monsieur from Carnage.
That is
He was a coach.
Arthur Superville.
Superville, he was a coach guy, right? Middle row, yours truly again.
Yes.
Vaughan Alexander.
Yes.
Hayden
Thomas.
Hayden Thomas.
Right.
Julian Garcia. Ralph Nelson.
Yeah.
Who is that? There's this boy. The forward now. Oh God.
Right. Well, you remember just now. Go down to the front row.
Okay, front row.
Kneeling.
Miguel.
Like Pointy.
Yeah.
Right.
Pointy Miguel.
Christopher Miguel.
Christopher Miguel. Right.
Right.
Then Novik Dinoon. Ron Laforêt. Yeah, that's Ron Laforêt. Curtis Morel.
Yeah.
And the next guy, I ain't making him out.
That's not Loveless?
No. That Loveless wasn't.
What about our shades, yes?
The man have one of shades.
Yeah, he look like a saga boy. Who's that, Clayton?
That will be at macaroni players as God said just now.
That Clayton.
No,
not at the end.
The guy in
here. No, he looked like Ronnie.
The guy between Curtis Morel and Beamer.
He looking kind of buff.
Between Curtis Morel and Michael.
I'm not seeing the picture, but I have one of shades there too. So.
Yes.
No. You in the end. You in the end. You are the last person.
But
and the man on top of you is oh God.
I know KJ boy.
No. That's the little one who crippled right now.
Close.
Who is that?
The one from Samoa. He and Bertrand O'Brien is batch, and they always together.
That's how I'm trying to look at the photo. Yeah.
Oh,
He disabled now? He disabled?
Yeah, the man walking with that stick.
Okay. No, but
he got stroke. Oh God, miserable one who always talking about.
Oh, my batch. Roderick Gibbs.
Roger Gibbs.
Right.
Roger Gibbs.
Oh, yes.
Roger Gibbs.
Right, that's my batch. That's my batch. Right.
The person have the photo now. The person in the shades before, after Curtis Morel, like Keto Joseph.
Okay. Keto Joseph.
You sure, boy?
He look like he comes straight out.
That is Keto Joseph.
That ain't looking like him, boy.
Yeah, what I tell you.
All right.
We will meet and we try to look the same way every time we taking out a photo.
The man looking like he comes straight out of the 70s.
Yeah, boy.
Earth, Wind and Fire or something.
Okay.
Yes. The pose, boy. Yeah. The pose give it away. Right, so let's go to the Defense Force lineup here now, Clayton. And we'll see Maxwell now.
Nah, I'm not in that picture.
You're not in that picture?
You know, in this one.
That's
This was Defense Force.
Yeah,
that is a 78 picture.
Oh, that's from 78. Okay. Yeah, and I think Defense Force has to do the same thing by.
That is when they won the CONCACAF in 78.
Right.
Oh, 1978. Okay.
No, can I have my glasses back, please, so I can read something?
Oh.
Yes, because folks, remember Clayton Defense Force was one of the most formidable football teams in our country.
In the Caribbean, around.
In the Caribbean, yeah. Because they is the only and still the only football club to have won the CONCACAF
club championship.
Three times.
Yeah.
And I wonder if these guys know what they inherited, because it was an unbeatable squad. From what we're looking at there.
You could go to the next one, short man.
Go to the next image, short man, because we also got some from you, Assistant Kenny Lai, with his coaching school as well.
Yeah, I had my two sons in the team too.
Right,
this you in this team here.
You were in this one.
Yeah, I in this team here.
Right, so we have a picture now of the Defense Force team in 1986 that Grantley was on, and he's at the bottom left-hand corner, and call from the standing, that's Del Pesh, I can recognize Del Pesh.
Anthony Del Pesh.
You need the glasses. You need help.
Yeah, we sharing glasses this morning.
Anthony Del Pesh, Hudson Charles, Kenrick Duncan, and we have the athlete from Barataya, Who represented
Right.
Trinidad?
Trevor Puckrin. Sorry.
Puckrin. Michael Puckrin. Michael Puckrin. And we had one of the best players I ever played with.
Who's that?
Fulong.
Ah, boy, Goat Fulong, eh?
Yeah, Goat Fulong. He was one of the best players I ever played with by Clayton, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Then we have
what about Goat now? Before you move on, he's still around.
He in and out. He in and out. He back home and he on the outside.
Oh, yeah, the Fulongs, boy.
That is a man with multi-talent.
Yes.
Multi-talent.
Yes. Amen to that.
Yeah, Goat Fulong. Then we have this one from this my neighbor here. Oh gosh. Oh boy. Anyhow, after him we have the goalkeeper, Yankee, Lovell. Aaron Lovell. And we have Julian Garcia, Miguel Hackett. Right? The front row we have yours truly. Then we have Francis, Hayden Morris. Dexter Francis.
Right.
Hayden Morris.
Hayden Thomas.
Hayden Thomas. Yeah, Hayden Thomas. Oh God, Morel, Curtis Morel,
right?
Pointy, Miguel Pointy, and Roger Gibbs. Yeah.
No, the person you can recognize is who?
This boy here.
That is Troy
Garcia. Troy Garcia.
Yes.
Troy Garcia.
Oh Lord.
I'm a neighbor.
Yeah, because I mean, I would have, been part, and Clayton, I must say, I'm proud to be, would been a part of this, the development of this team too, because I was a PTI then, remember? And so we were all of us stationed on the base, and I was really, up to this day, Pointed always remind me of a session I give them in the base, aerobic session, because we were happy to be part of this. So Clayton, my friend, let's go to the other images quickly, and we could keep Clayton on the line, please, Tamika, so we could take some calls. The other picture we got from Kenny Lai, and this is another, this is a big team here too. Maxwell, I don't think you on this team because I seen Kenwin Cooper. You here too? I seen Session, Kenwin Cooper. Tell us who we seen here.
Okay, the back row is
Balfour.
Right, Balfour. And we have Brian Dixon.
Right.
And we have the best footballer ever. Both Neptune. The most talented. Most talented. It ain't nobody close to Booth.
And who unfortunately
with talent.
Who unfortunately cracked cocaine and took a hold of too.
Yes.
That's right. When he passed, when they found his body, he had a bottle in one hand and cocaine in the next hand.
Jesus.
He was found by his brother, who was the police. You have Errol McFarlane. You have former goalkeeper Robinson. We have Kenny Lai. We have Joseph Sam Phillip, who is not doing well today.
Oh, is he ill?
Very ill.
Oh boy. Okay.
And we have deceased.
That is Loveless.
Loveless, and we have deceased Loveless. We have
another one that cocaine too.
Yeah. Cocaine and all took charge of him. We have former manager Peter Joseph. Centaro, one of the better forwards of the Defence Force era. Kenny Joseph, who was my coach.
KJ.
Then we have Robert Ward. Then yours truly, Grantley Maxwell. Then we have Novik Dinoon. Then we have the sailor. Oh God.
Banfield?
No man. God.
You'll come back.
After him we have Kenrick Duncan. Then we have Dane Wallace at the end. Front row, Kenwin Cooper, deceased.
Yeah.
Deceased Kenwin Cooper. You have my good friend here,
Fredericks.
Stephen Jappa Fredericks. And we have Hippolyte, Friday, Curtis Morel, and Miguel Hackett.
Another big one.
Yeah.
Big team.
Yes, big team, boy.
Big team.
Yeah. Can you remember that there are teams that would forfeit matches when they know they were coming up against Defense Force, right? You ever heard
he
of
always
that?
saying that. That's true.
Did you?
You know there were teams that forfeited games when they know they were coming up at Defense Force? I heard that.
That's a real thing?
Yes. Because I remember we left to go again. Remember the bus would pull out from the base on an afternoon when Defense was playing.
Yeah.
And reach to the venue and they say, the team are coming, boy. Let's go back home.
No.
I remember. God is my witness. God is my witness.
That is facts.
That is facts.
Kenny likes
once you're coming up against the Defense Force, you see sometimes the teams may feel they don't have the best players the time or they may be short. They're not taking the chance. It's a fact. Everybody was aspiring to be a soldier. I and all wanted to be a soldier because of what I saw, the quality and the players in the Defense Force. I mean, Grantley Maxwell, one of my idols, Talai Andrews, Curtis Morrell, you name them. Those are the players you wanted. Any young footballer wanted to be like a soldier, one of the soldiers in the team.
Yes.
So that was really inspirational for us. And one of the things, coming up against the Defense Force, they always fit.
Yes.
So sometimes you feel your team fitness not good enough. Guys making an excuse and not showing up for the game.
Yeah. Wow. Defense Force were one of the teams that could have beaten you in the last 10 seconds of a game. Because they run you right down to the last whistle. Yeah, that done. And we prepared them for that on the base. I must say.
Yeah, the PTI staff.
We prepared them for that. So this is your picture here with Kenny Lai Soccer Coaching School, right? And you look very young here too. You look like you had, Kenny Lai put in.
Find my son there. Find my son.
Yes, Kenny Lai said he had two sons here.
Yes.
Go to another picture, short man. Let's see if Maxwell can recognize. And in the meantime, we take some of your calls for Grantley, 622-3937. And let's, just to send your love to Grantley and give him some hope and strength as he continues on his journey to recovery. Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, God. Good morning to Natasha, and good morning to Grantley.
Morning.
Good morning, good morning.
You know that voice, Grantley?
Mr. Porter Spain.
Hello?
How about your rehab?
And I'm not recognizing.
Rehab, by your rehab, I met you. We spoke. We discussed football, how great you were, a performer, representing Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
I am Charlie Spooner, one of your comrades.
Oh, God. My boy. Oh, God. Charlie, I apologize. I'm very sorry. Oh, God, Charlie, boy.
You recognize your voice.
Hey, Charlie, boy. I'm sorry. Oh, God. And I'm doing it in public. Oh, God, I had to apologize. Charlie. Thanks for calling, boy. Thanks. Long time I hear you. Yeah, man. Nice. Great.
Its company.
Yeah.
I have to give them kudos. But I listen to all the programs. I just doesn't get in that sometimes.
Okay.
And what a wonderful job they are doing. And God bless the day that God took the position that he in with, together with his wife.
Okay.
Blessings, my brother.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for allowing me this conversation.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Charlie. Thanks,
Take
man.
care, man. Take
have
care.
a good one. Blessing, my brother. Blessing.
Clayton, you're still there, right?
622-3937.
Yeah. Morning. Hello. Morning.
Hey, I don't know why they're wasting all year, boy. They have all this still, and Trinidad and Tobago teams suffering. Why they wasting all year?
They're wasting, man. There are people who benefiting and learning, so.
Well, it has no benefit. The kind of thing all they used to do on the football field, I doubt all of that could come out all year.
You see, sir? But Kolat, you thank you so much for listening and for your support and for your belief, right?
Yeah, but you bounce back and get them it. You understand?
Yeah. Respect, man. Take care.
Yeah, man. Thanks, brother.
You seen your sons?
No, I ain't seen me yet.
All right. Next picture, short man. Let's see. 622-3937. Clayton, before we go back to the next call, what are your fond memories of playing with Grantley?
Oh, okay.
Well, God, to be honest, as I told you yesterday when we spoke, my debut on the national senior team was Grantley was one of my teammates.
Right.
And I vividly remember Grantley as a hard worker on the football field, very determined. You know, when you look at Grantley's face before a game, you could see, you know, that mentality of a soldier that, you know, as they taught us as civilians around the team that time, the more you sweat in peacetime is the less you bleed in the war.
Correct.
And you see that in Grantley Maxwell's face.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I remember him, you know, on the lighter part of the drugs, right? The marijuana. Grantley and them will be taking the smoke, and they are not encourage people like myself to touch that. And these are one of the things I respect. And I think if that is happening in the country today, then we wouldn't be suffering with the influence that is taking over the youth today.
Yes.
Yes, these guys were doing what they're doing, but they weren't encouraging us as the young people to get involved. And that is one of the things I respect. I mean, yes, wasn't something right, but when I look back at it, those guys protected me.
Yes.
Right? Where I could be here today, as you know, God, all in the prison doing work to show them guys there's a better life than the life that they got or what got them in trouble in the first place.
Let's take
and
another
the other
call.
thing is,
What? Sorry, Clayton. No, he's still left. All right. Hello?
Yeah, hello, morning.
Morning.
Yeah, morning to everybody. What I found very instructive is that Grantley never blamed anybody for his addiction,
Yes.
his life, his experiences. He took full responsibility for it, and I think that is why today he's on a route to recovery.
Yes.
Right? That's my contribution.
Thank you very much,
Thank
sir.
you very
And Jennifer
much.
Paris on YouTube said, I have been following Grantley's life on this program, and I'm so proud of his status at this time. Is indeed a great, God is indeed great, you know, Grantley. Grantley, I'm so proud of you. Continue to pray for you. And Jennifer said she continues to pray for you as well.
Thank you.
Yes, she has been
Someone
following.
on Facebook also says Junior Phillip sends his regards.
That's my boy.
Yeah.
that is one of our on the national team too, Junior
Okay.
from Paradise.
Yeah, Junior, yeah.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, Junior, man. Tell him I say hello, man. That's my boy. I asked for him the other day.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Morning, God. Morning, Natasha. Morning, Maxwell.
Morning, sweetheart. Morning.
You know who talking to you?
No.
It's a good friend. We should play all the music for you all. Funky Jama.
Okay.
Yeah.
Funky Jama, the DJ.
Oh, right. From the village. Good day. How you doing?
Okay.
Nice hearing from you. Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right, Jama.
Okay?
Thank you there.
Okay, thanks for calling.
Grantley, you know, I'm looking at the pictures here with you. We have, all right, let's take it there. Hello, good morning.
Morning. Is this the live program?
Yes, it is.
This is Junior Philip here, man.
Hey, Junior. Morning, my brother.
Yes, sir, my brother. Hey, call the brother named Arab Naina, boy.
Arab boy, you say you're the old Arab boy.
I am.
Yeah, boy, I always acting pain, man.
But I and all. I meet one of your neighbors by me, boy.
Who's that?
A lady named Natiki.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I asked her for you. I tell her to.
I'm glad to see you and hear you, man.
Yeah, man. Blessings. I myself,
Yeah,
man.
Stay strong.
Of course.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Blessings, brother.
Thank you. And,
Yeah, man. So you have a good day.
Yes, same to you, brother. And the family too.
I will do.
Yeah, man.
Here right now.
Yeah, bless.
All
So
right,
that-
brother.
That Arab is Ralph Nelson you talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, good morning. Hello, morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Mr. God.
Morning.
Hey, morning.
Well, I just want to a phone on from way back here.
Okay.
I used to play against the army.
Okay.
Police barracks. Right?
For who? Who used to play for?
I used to play. Kelman Alexander.
Okay, all right. From Palo Seco. From Palo Seco.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
wicked man.
Nice hearing from you, man. Nice hearing from you, brother.
Yeah, I used to play Crumpton.
Yes, I know you well. We had lots of duels.
Yeah, the boy fall off the tree teared up.
Yeah.
His father and I worked together in Citrus.
Nice, man. Nice.
Maynard.
Okay.
Maynard. He's played for God for South.
Right. How about Robert, boy? How Robert doing, boy? Robert, how Robert doing?
Yeah.
How is Robert?
When you there fighting on?
Okay, Robert Shade.
Anyhow, I'm glad to hear everything about good and take the best. Take care of yourself.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
Mr. Gat,
Yes, sir.
that is a very, very, very important program you have there. I been listening to you all the time, eh? Because
All right.
following you up. Because if this was keep following up, you will have a lot of fellas will be off the road. But you have to get plenty. You and Wayne Chan and them fellas and them. This drug rehab is a 666 thing. Because as I'm a friend, just fall away. Fellas from me, you could not focus on the guy who was in the coup, in the mutiny.
Yeah.
All them fellas just went from behind the bridge there. So I could tell you.
Yes.
Right? And Mr. Robinson, let me tell him how they know Ray Robinson. He know me good. In 67, I think one from half flying. Every time he see me now, he's so God boy, crush boy. Oh boy. He hot me. But that will be win Northern League. All right, brother, all the best.
All right, Clayton. So
Yes, sir.
before we let you go, I really admire the fact, and I even envy you all to see the men that you all rubbed shoulders with as former national players. You all played with big name players. How did it feel as a youngster? Just before you go, how did it feel as a youngster that you actually got selected to play alongside fellas like Morel and all of these guys?
Well, as I told you, the Army was like the model for us in St. Anne's because we represented the Army youth team. We were the Defense Force youth, right? So it was like, you do what you have to do at that age. Make sure you stay in line because going into Defense Forces, it requires a lot of discipline. So this was a motivation. So as I said before, most of the Army players who went on to represent the national team, they were my idols.
Right.
And then getting the opportunity now to come between those guys, I mean, it was like, it was like a dream come true for me. So
yes.
I always said to myself, once I get in the position being a senior player, I would do the same thing for the younger players coming into the national team, and that is exactly what I did. What I got from Grantley Maxwell and Curtis Morel and all these guys, I passed it on to all the other players came into the national team. I mean, maybe this is why they saw it fit to make me captain of the national team, because that is what I got. Whatever I got from those guys, I just passed it on to the guys who came after me.
Clayton Morris, we want to thank you so much for spending your time with us this morning. Thank you for sending the pictures for us as well on request. And God bless you. You keep up the good work too, because we know you're working on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago as well out there. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, Garth. And just before I go, let me just continue to encourage Grantley Maxwell, because I did have the opportunity to play with him when he going through that crisis when he was still on the drugs in over 40 football in the Arena League, and Maxie didn't miss a beat. He still had everything about him, what he had in the heydays as a Trinidad and Tobago national footballer and as a Defense Force player. So again, Grantley, keep your head up. God is the boss.
Thank you, Clayton. Thank you, Clayton. And I will. You could bet your bottom dollar on that. I will.
Thanks, Clayton.
Thanks again, Garth.
Take care. All right, brother. Respect.
Okay, bye. Bye-bye.
We have Mrs. Trotman is still alive.
Okay.
Someone has messaged on her behalf saying she would like to see you and asking where in Arima she could meet with you. So I told her to message God, and we will make sure you'll get in touch.
Okay. Ms. Trotman, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mrs. Trotman.
Yes,
glad to hear you're still
glad
around.
to hear you're still around. So Grantley, thank you very much for being with us this morning.
Yeah, man.
But before I go, I could say something?
Yeah.
Yes,
Go ahead,
quickly.
Yeah, I would just like to, I'm happy to have the opportunity to come here today and share my experience and strength and hope about my addiction, my life. And I would like to take this opportunity to make an amends in the form of saying how deeply sorry I am, how deeply I am for hurting all the people I ever met or encountered in my life, in my football life and in my normal life, all over Trinidad, because I really went all over Trinidad, and if we were listening, you all will realize a guy just called from Palo Seco, you understand, and this was part of my life. I played football all over Trinidad and met a lot of people, and love, the total love was conveyed every time. So I wanted to, apologize and tell these people how sorry I am for spoiling their feelings for me as a human being because of my addictive life, because of my not showing a good example as a human being, in the sense that I was a drug user, I was a dirty, stinking piper. For so many, and these people, you all showed me so much love.
Grantley, unfortunately, we have to stop. Because we have
Thanks again.
At 12, right?
Thanks again.
Onika James is here with the news.
Thanks again.
So, folks, thank you so much for your love and support this morning. Grantley, I'm sure they accept your apology. Major news up next with Onika James.
Good afternoon.